Hey Gospel Gunslingers, Pastor Sam here with your verse of the day. We're in Joshua today, and there are a number of promises for those of us who feel like we're a little bit past years to really get into the nitty-gritty. And this will be an encouragement for you as it is for me. We're in Joshua 14, and the verse of the day is verse 11. This is the conquest where the Lord's armies invaded the promised land that he had promised for their forefathers, where Abraham sojourned and lived in tents. This is the first book beyond the Pentateuch, and it tells a lot about the wars of God. If you're going to be a gospel gunslinger, if you're going to stand up for what's right, what's yours, and what you believe, your people and your family in the dark day, read the book of Joshua. Verse 11, "And yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then, even so is my strength now for war, both to go out and to come in." Now, this is Caleb, who went to Joshua, who was the commander of the armies, and he said, "Look, I want this mountain called Hebron." He said, "I want that, and I know it's overrun with giants, but that's the place that I want. That's the place that Moses promised me for my inheritance." Another thing, as you go through the book of Joshua, you're going to learn a lot about cowardice and about courage. And people say that courage is contagious. And maybe it is, but what's really contagious is cowardice. You have got to get rid of cowardice. And you got to get rid of cowards. Let me tell you, if you got a bunch of buddies that are cowards, try to straighten them out. Show them what the word says, and if they don't come along, a man that is an heretic after the first and second admonition, reject. Because the wars of God are coming. They're coming. Now, I've heard this preached again and again, this passage, and normally they say, oh, this is all figurative, and the giants in the mountain pertain to the obstacles in your own life, and while that may all be great for chicken soup for the soul, we're in the days of Elijah now, and some crazy stuff is going to happen, and you don't know what's going to come up out of that abyss. You don't know what's going to come up out of that abyss. You do not know. Let's be ready for it by studying the life of Elijah. This mountain, Hebron, where David later hid out, even though it was overrun by the wicked in the days of David, he knew that this was Kirjath Arba. It was named for Arba, the notorious giant who was the father of Anak and spawned the race of the Anakim. Sarcophagi, that is, coffins or burial enclosures for some of these giants have been found. The sarcophagus for Og, the king of Bashan, was much larger than the build height of Goliath. So understand that these giants of old were no joke. They were supernatural. And we have the promise of God, even though Caleb was 85 years old when he made this request, to go up to that place, to engage those giants in battle. And friends, he took it from them. Let's do the same. I'll see you tomorrow.